What's up, Scoops? As always with my Merlin reviews, if you haven't seen the episode, you don't want anything spoiled for you, peace out, go watch it and come back. However, if you have seen the episode or if you don't care if anything's spoiled for you, then let's go. First point, for the last few episodes, Gwen makes me angry every single time she uses her brother's death to explain her odd behavior. Added on top of that, I was so surprised, like through those last few episodes, how she was so good at lying. I was like, this makes no sense. She's a person who's never really had to lie, so why is she so incredibly good at it all of a sudden? Alternately, however, Arthur is terrible at lying, and I know that a lot of people are saying, I'm pretty sure that Arthur knows, but with how bad he was at lying in this episode, there's no possible way that he could know about Merlin's magic. The second he found out about it, he was like Mr. Awkward, and he could not handle being in the same room with her because of the lies. So I do not believe, because of that he knows about Merlin's magic. The next part in the episode was when Merlin went to see the duck trade, which was a character that I absolutely loved. I thought she was great with the prosthetics and that voice and the teeth, like such a great character. But I do not think she was necessary for this episode. I thought it was actually a bit of a waste of time. Every single time they've ever needed to know some obscure bit of information for the entire scope of the show of Merlin, they've just turned to Gaius and he's just known every single time, except this time. And I was thinking about this only because I really wanted more time at the end with Dolma, yes, because she's amazing, but also just trying to get Gwen into the water. I thought that needed more time. But I also thought the duck trade wasn't really needed because yes, she was the one who informed Morgana, but all they needed was one line from Morgana saying, you don't have to worry, Guinevere, if you're ever in danger, I put a spell on you, so I will be notified immediately. Yes, we wouldn't have had any reason for Dragoon in the episode, but we've gotten a really, really good taste of him, and he wasn't like our lovely, crotchety old man in this episode, so I could have done without him just to get that time back. Also with Dragoon, when Merlin walked into that cave, he took a sip of the potion. As far as the world of Merlin, he's always taken a sip of the potion after he was Dragoon, and I didn't think he needed it anyway because at the end of season 4, when he went into the castle to cast a spell on Morgana so she couldn't use her magic, he came back out of there as Merlin. So was he somehow able to get over to Gaius's chambers through all of these people who could possibly kill him just to get a potion? Or did he not need it? Or does he need it sometimes before, sometimes after? Does he not need it at all? I wish they would get it straight. Another point that's kind of like that is when Arthur, Merlin, and Gaius were in that little area talking about the plan to take Guinevere to the water. And I love the fact that Arthur needed confirmation from Merlin to know whether or not to go forward with the plan. And they had a pseudo conversation with no words. And then Arthur was convinced. I loved that. But my original point with that moment was that Arthur said in that moment that Dragoon killed his father, when earlier on in the season he said Morgana killed his father. So does he know that it was Morgana, or does he still think it's Dragoon? They need to put a list and have all those folklore things written down 100%. What do we know? What don't we know? But does this character know versus this character? And have it all set. And I don't feel like they're doing that, and it's disappointing, frankly. Then again, I might just be bitter that the show is now canceled and I can no longer move to London and get an acting job on Merlin. That might be it. Another thing that I thought was super interesting on this episode is that Mordred has a tendency to be like a little puppy with Arthur, but then the second he turns to Merlin, he's like this fully in control adult and a formidable enemy. It's such a weird dichotomy. It throws us off so much, and I know that that was their intention, but it's making me so skittish. Which way are you going, sir? I do not understand why it is that Morgana did not kill Mordred. It doesn't make sense because Mordred tried to kill her, and from past examples, one infraction is all you get, and yet she treats him like a wayward child. It makes me think that either she's delusional and she's put Mordred on the good side and everybody else on the bad side, and she doesn't want to screw up that delusion, which would send her into just a spiral, or they've made her into a one-dimensional character. If that's the option, that angers me that they would take all of who Morgana is, which is this complex, beautiful character, and make her into a one-dimensional character, but I would like to know which one it is. And I was happy to see Mordred use his powers for the first time this season. I also found it really funny that Merlin, to change into Dolma, the Dolma, did not even go far. Like, he literally just walked around one tiny little hill and just started changing right there. If Arthur even got the slightest bit curious, he would have just walked around that tiny little hill, and then he would have either found Merlin in a dress or the Dolma with no Merlin, who's supposedly her hostage, in sight. Okay, at this point it was pretty much all giggles because of one special lady named Dolma. I completely agree with what MEBM15 tweeted me. It was completely hilarious. And the first time I watched it, I couldn't breathe through most of it. It was just giggles. I mean, just seeing him in the dress was funny enough. You add that on top of the voice. The first time I heard that voice, I had to stop. I had to stop the video and just breathe. I was like, you're so awesome, Colin Morgan. You're so awesome. I can tell you right now, an American actor would not have done it. They would have complained about it or been like, oh, I can't believe they put me in a dress, blah, blah, blah. Whereas Colin Morgan is just like, yeah, actually it was one of my favorite costumes because it was so comfortable. You know what I mean? He's so cool, man. I love that you can totally tell that the second that Mordred looked over and saw Dolma that he was like, that's Merlin. Huh. I did not like, however, that he tried to sabotage the moment by asking Arthur, where's Merlin? I was like, shut up, Mordred, let's just enjoy this moment. Gosh. I loved Gwen's freak out when she woke up. I thought it was sort of like a goodbye because now she's going back to regular Gwen and she's gonna be nowhere near as interesting. So I was super sad about that, and I do hope that they still use her to her full potential in the following episodes. And then of course the ride back where Mordred admits that he knew it was Merlin the whole time, and him once again saying, I wish you could trust me because we have a future together whether both of us want it or not. So my question of the day is, how did you like the episodes? What did you think of the Dolma? And what are your hopes for the next few episodes? Put them in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys rock out loud. I don't know what the background is for today. I haven't known for a few days. I'm just throwing up random stuff now. Woo! Please make sure you watch my YouTube obsession of the week, as well as my previous video, which is also a Merlin review, and my Hipster Chicken video of the week. You guys rock out loud. I love you to bits. My scoops are beautiful. So see you guys tomorrow for my regular comments videos on Fridays. It'll just be comments because I have so many comments to respond to. So I'm going to respond to as many as I can, as well as a couple channels that I think that you guys should check out because I think you'll really like them. Again, I love you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow. And that's it. Bye.